Let us now go to the next topic, which is legal terminologies. I think boys would relate to this. Do you think when you go to the field to play cricket, you would be able to play good if you knew what was offside, onside, wide? Would you be even able to play cricket if you didn't know these terms? And for the girls, think about you going into the kitchen and making your favorite dish. Would you be able to do it if you didn't know what is cardamom? Or what is chili, turmeric? The only ways to do things is by knowing the terminologies to do it. And similarly, the only way to understand law is by understanding legal terminologies. The understanding of law will increase if you understand the terminologies. You will get a better idea of what to do and what to understand once these terminologies are clear to you. So let us now go to the first terminology in our list. The first terminology is agreement. To understand agreement, it is best to understand the terms same thing in the same sense. When I mention same thing in the same sense, what is important is the understanding between two people in relation to a topic is similar. Let me give you an example. If I ask someone to come for a coffee, I should be sure that the person to whom I have asked has understood that I am asking him out to have coffee and not tea. If the person to whom I am asking is thinking that he is going to come and have tea, we don't have an agreement because he has not understood what I have said in the same sense. Hence, with agreement, you always remember same thing in the same sense. The next word is enforceable. You will encounter this word in lines such as, is the contract enforceable? The term enforceable here means, can I go to the court and file a case on this contract? So when the word term enforceable is used, please relate it to it can be enforced in the court. The next word that we will look at is valid. Valid means legally binding. Have I done a valid contract? Or is my agreement valid? Are terms that are usually used. With valid, please know that all contracts that are valid are legally binding. The next term we'll have is void, which is the exact opposite of valid. If valid is legally binding, void is not legally binding at all. And void cannot be enforced in the law. Voidable is the next word. Kindly note that voidable is an inclusion of two words, which is void and able. So whatever you can make void is voidable. So it is at your option to cancel the contract, which makes it voidable. The next term is wagering. Wagering is betting or gambling. We will learn an exact definition of these terms when we go into laws. But for now, please relate the word wagering to betting or gambling. The next term is implied. Implied is understood. When you are coming into the session and listening to what I'm telling you, it is implied that I'm going to take you through a few examples of law. I did not tell you I'll do that, but you understood that. This is implied. You don't need someone to come and specifically tell you to do things. You imply that it is done. Implied means understood. The next term is illegal. I'm sure you are used to this word illegal because you see it on a day-to-day basis. Illegal is unlawful and banned. The next term is unilateral. Uni is a Latin word which means one. As unilateral means one-sided. Similarly, the next term, bilateral, means two-sided. Let's have a quick recap of what we've learned in this slide. Agreement is same thing, same sense. Enforceable is that which you can take in the court. Valid, something that is correct, it's legally binding, you have to do it. Void is the opposite of valid, which is not legally binding. Voidable is at your option, you can make it void. Wagering is betting or gambling. Implied is things that you can understand, it is understood. Illegal is things that you're not supposed to do, like killing an animal which is endangered or driving your car on the wrong side of the road. It's all illegal. Unilateral is one side. Uni is the key word. Bilateral is two-sided. Bi is the key word. Let us go to the next slide. The term we look at here is lapse. Lapse means expired. You might look at a sentence which says your time has lapsed. I'm sure boys who go into gaming stations get this message time in and time and again. Whenever your money expires, the screen is filled with a message saying your time is lapsed. So lapse is a key word which mentions it's expired. The next word is compliance. Compliance is to comply in relation to obedience. I'm sure you would have known in the school or colleges which mention a key line in their diaries that say you are supposed to comply with the rules. Compliance is complying with the rules. So compliance means follow the rules. The next term we'll be looking at is collateral. Collateral is in relation to security or deposit. You would all have seen ads on the TV mentioning gold loans. So when you go to banks to take loans, what you're supposed to give to them is your gold. The gold in this case is the collateral which you're giving to the bank as security. So a security to ensure that you pay back the loan in time. The next word is tacit. Tacit is similar to implied. Implied means understood. Hence tacit would mean understood. The next term is consideration. Consideration is something in return. When you go to buy anything from your supermarket, you have to pay for it. The payment that you make is a consideration. Consideration for what you're getting from the supermarket. Hence, consideration is something in return. To elaborate on the concept, let's look at a scenario where you go to a movie theater and buy tickets. While you are paying money for the tickets, what you get in return for yourself is 3 hours of entertainment. So the consideration for you to buy those tickets is the entertainment that you get for 3 hours. The next term that we'll look at is negotiation. You would have seen your parents going and bargaining in the markets. They would want to buy the vegetables for 20 rupees in half kilo. And the guy would say, no, it's 25 rupees. This process is called negotiation, where you're bargaining on a price. Next term is revocation. Revocation means cancellation. Whatever you're cancelling is ideally being revoked. The next term, that is statute. Statute is the form in which laws are passed by the legislature. As we've seen earlier, laws are passed by the legislature. They're made by them. They make laws in the form of a statute. And statutes, I will take you to the next word, which is barracks. statutes are usually written in the form of a bare act. As the word suggests, bare means without any examples or explanations. It is barely the law. So take you back to the words in the slide. Lapse means expired. Compliance means to follow the rules. Collateral means a form of security that you give. Tacit is similar to implied, that is understood. Consideration means something in return. Negotiation is bargaining. Revocation is to cancel or cancellation. Statute is the form in which laws are passed by the legislator, and bare act is in the form in which the statutes are written. A few more terms that you will come across when you're looking into legal words are an offerer or offeree, promisor, promisee, consigner, consignee. What you have to notice here is the terms or and re. Offerer is the person making the offer, and offeree is the person to whom the offer is made. So if A offers something to B, A becomes the offerer and B becomes the offeree. Similarly, promisor is a person who is making the promise. Promisee is the person to whom it is made. And similarly, consigner is a person who makes the consignment, and consignee is to whom it is made. Let's go to the next word, which is condition precedent. What you have to look at is the term pre. The term precedent is what is to be looked at specifically. Precedent means something to be done before. So condition precedent means conditions to be fulfilled before. The next term that we'll be looking at is fulfilment. Fulfilment is to complete, or to achieve, or to satisfy. When you are asked to fulfill the conditions, you are supposed to complete the conditions. The next term that we'll be looking at is qualified. Qualified is with condition. And similarly, the next term, unqualified, means without condition. To understand these two words, let's look at an example. Let's say I told my friends that we'll go to a movie on Saturday. So my statement, we will go to a movie on Saturday, has no conditions attached to it. But let's say I tell them that we'll go to a movie on Saturday if it does not rain. Now I have attached a condition to my sentence. The condition, if it does not rain on Saturday, makes this statement a qualified statement, and the earlier statement, which did not have a condition, is an unqualified statement. Now let us go to the next term, which is consent. Consent means approval. You might hear this word in sentences which might hear like, I give my consent to the project. I give my consent to the conditions. Consent means approval. The next terminology is barred. Barred means stopped. You might hear the term in conversations which state, you are barred from entering this property. That means you are stopped. You are restricted from entering this property. The next term is limitation. Limitation is usually a barrier or an amount of time. In law, there are certain procedures that are followed. If there is a crime that happens, you're supposed to report it, or you're supposed to go to the court within a specific period of time. This period of time is mentioned as limitation. If you cross the time, you are not allowed to go to the court. The next term is uphold. Similar to how the word sounds, uphold means I agree, upholding the hand. When you provide a support, you mention I uphold. So let's just go into recap. The first terms we looked at are offerer, offeree, promisor, promisee, consignor, consignee. The term or signifies who makes it. The term re signifies to whom it is made. Condition precedent, like preliminary. Precedent is before, so conditions to be fulfilled before. Fulfilment is completion, to achieve or to satisfy. Qualified means with conditions. Unqualified means without conditions. Consent is an approval that you're giving. Barred is stopped or restricted. Limitation is a barrier or amount of time where you're stopped from doing things. Uphold is agree or support. This brings us to the end of terminologies. This list is not exhaustive. You might have a lot of doubts on a lot of words that are used in legal. We advise you to research on each of the words you have doubts on. We also advise you to go back and listen to each of the terms to know and understand them. Your understanding of these terms are very important for your understanding of law.